Please let's give a big round of applause to our 2022 International Aubuchon honoree, RANA AYYUB. RANA.
Thank you so much to National Press Club, to Jen, to Bill, for this honor. Like Jen said, the day they called me to announce that I am the recipient of the Aubuchon honor this year, I was in hiding because one of my colleagues, a journalist, a friend of mine, who's a co-accused with me in a case, was behind bars for a tweet he wrote 4 years ago. Ironic, isn't it, that people who preside over genocides are feted by the world, but those who speak truth to power have been asked to stay low profile. That's the sign of the times we live in. To begin with, it's a huge honor for me, and I would like to thank the Washington Post for having my back at a time when journalists in India and top editors in India, where I worked, where I held top positions, pretended that I did not exist. Post-2014, when Mr. Modi became the Prime Minister of India. So thank you to the Washington Post for having my back through my toughest times. I would like to dedicate this award to a person who is not in our midst. Her name is Shireen Abu Akleh, a journalist who was killed. Shireen didn't have to die. She didn't have to be murdered. She should have been right here with us. In her life and her death, Shireen exposed the hypocrisy and dual standards of the world on human rights. And that's the truth we all need to accept and understand, and more than ever before right now. And every time I'm in the US, people talk about India. When I tell them I'm from India, they say, oh, you're from the land of Ayurveda, meditation, yoga. Yes, it's true. Snake charmers, yes. I also belong to a country of 1.3 billion people, the world's largest democracy, with 220 million Muslim population who are now at the cusp of a genocide, right? I meet officials here in State Department and top officials, high-ranking officials in the US, and they say, Rana, what's happening? And I tell them, you know what's happening better than I do, right? And then I'm told, we know what's happening in India, but, bilateral relationship vis-a-vis China and Russia, human rights be damned, right? Journalists be damned. And so ironic, 2 weeks ago, the US State Department was questioned about the immunity being given to MBS when he was traveling, and they cited the example of Narendra Modi, that even he was given similar immunity. So they did my job in a way. By comparing MBS with Narendra Modi, that's exactly what I've been doing. Right? Trying to tell the world that the man who you put on the cover of The Economist and Time is a man who has blood on his hands. He has. In 2002, 1,000 Muslims were massacred in a span of 2 days when Mr. Modi was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. And we never even thought it as a joke that this man will become the Prime Minister. So much so the United States would not allow him entry into the US. And now you look at him. He has just taken over the presidency of G20. For this very speech, my country will tell me that I'm unpatriotic. I believe that I love India more than I love any other country in the world. I love my country, which is why I'm here risking everything to speak, because this could potentially be my last trip out of India. On the 13th, in a week from now, I will know my fate. I know if a non-bailable warrant will be issued against me. I don't know if I'm going to be arrested on arrival. As soon as I got here, a charge sheet was filed against me, which means I cannot leave India after this. I'm going to use this opportunity to tell you the story of India in a gist. It's a big story. In a gist. So when I leave, I know that some of you will speak about this story that the world needs to hear urgently. It's a story